What you giggling about?
You have a comment in the super chat. Johnny Z says, Sammy, I heard that the candy you passed out to kids on Halloween was just a loan and you charged a vig.
What?
Sammy, I heard the candy that you passed out to kids on Halloween was just a loan and you charged a vig.
It's not true. It's not true.
All right. Sorry, that was actually really cute and funny. I want to remind everybody, pretty please, in the chat, stay respectful. What were your thoughts on Mob Wars, Philly versus the Mafia?
The movie that just came out? Yeah, I didn't see it yet. I didn't see it. What is it about?
That'll be your assignment.
Yeah,
you're going to watch it.
Well, it's really ridiculous. There's a lot of tough guys in Philadelphia. A lot of them. I knew a lot of guys. I did work with them. I did a lot of things with them. There were tough guys there. To overcome 5 families coming for you. And it's not just 5 families. Those 5 families, 2, 3 of them have connections in Italy, Sicily, the Italian Mafia. They had connection with the Irish mob in Hell's Kitchen. You're not fighting them. You're not fighting all of them. They had connections with black guys, the Black Mafia. There was interactions with them, with numbers in sports and all kinds of things. Drugs. You don't want to fuck with the whole 5 families in New York. You'd be fighting a losing battle. And they would be hooking up with guys like I knew Philadelphia guys. If there was a war, some of those guys would be, Sammy, we'll help you. Because we're friends. You would be fighting half your own people and the whole 5 families. You'd get crushed so fast, you wouldn't know what hit you. I didn't see the movie, but it's ridiculous. And then they got, what, Joey Molino running it? He was going to fight the whole 5 families? I saw him doing the umbrella dance. I mean, maybe he could suck the whole 5 families, but whatever the fuck it is, he does. But it's hard for me to understand. You can't win. Even when you're fighting from one family to another, it goes up to the commission, they tell you, stop, this is the reason why, this. If you divide the rest of the families, and they're all coming at you, it's too much. It's impossible.
Okay, I have Michael Scarlata in your super chat. Do you think that there will ever be an authentic Mafia movie again? It feels like so many Italian actors in the 80s and 90s grew up in and around the life. They brought a realism to the roles.
Yeah, well, I tell you, there's about one scripted show that should happen. Right now, it's not happening, about me and my life. And it's not just about my life, my scripted show. It's about the whole 5 families. It's about Philadelphia, our involvement there, the involvement in Canada with the Gravano family, had a crew there.
Correction. It's not that it's not happening. It's just on hold.
It's on hold. It's not happening. It's on hold right now because of different things in Hollywood. But I think that would be a great movie. It's because it's not just about me. I mean, a lot of it is. And the people I'm working with, Nick Pileggi, Terry Winter, all these people, Aaron Kaplan, they like truth. So when I talk truth with them all the time, and they do a lot of background. They talk to FBI, CIA, NYPD, people who they've been calling people, asking them questions. I get a friend of mine I know 30, 40 years. Sammy, they called me up and they were asking me questions about this, and this. So I said, all right, what'd you tell them? He says, well, I was talking with them. I gotta tell them the truth. So, and I know there's going to be parts that I watch that I'm not going to like. But I think that's the way an audience should see a mob movie. It has to have a lot of truth to it. Of course, they always put in Hollywood stuff, but I think the more truthful it is, the more exciting and the more you like the movie. So I'm all for it, whether I like it or not. I am all for it. So and that'll happen. When that happens, we'll see.
El Gato back in your super chat. Zu Sammy salute. Explain what happens in Cosa Nostra family when the boss passes away. Grazie.
When the boss passes away, and it's not over a war or a murder, it's just natural causes, like Carlo Gambino did, the captains in the family turn around and they're going to vote a boss in. That's the way it's supposed to be all the time. Now, certain people put up their name. The underboss may put up his name. A captain over here, captain over there will put their names in, and they vote. The captains vote in this guy, that's who the boss is. That's the way it's done, whether you like it or not. So...
That's not how Paul became boss, right?
Huh?
That's not how Paul became the boss, right?
It is. That's the way Paul became the boss. When Carlo died, Paul, let me answer that question. Carlo Gambino on his deathbed said, if I die, I want my brother-in-law or cousin, whatever he was, Paul Castellano, to be the boss. Neil was in jail. He was the underboss, O'Neill. Paul said, I'm not going to hold the vote because the underboss is in prison and he's coming out soon. When he comes out, I'm going to talk to him. He did. I was part of the security when they met. I wasn't in the meeting, but I was part of the security. And Paul Castellano said, if you want to put your name in, you're the underboss, I want to give you time. Neil said to Paul, I've been in prison for quite a while. I don't know what's going on. If Carl wanted you to be the boss, then I'm not going to put my hat in the ring and I will back you to be the boss. I could be your underboss, or I could break me down to a captain, whatever you want, Paul. And Paul said, no, I want you to be my underboss if I become the boss. They both agreed that day and left. And there was a vote, and Paul won the vote. And he did make Neil his underboss. So that's the way it was done, orderly. Now, when Paul was killed, John became the boss. It was totally different. It's a murder. It's a whole thing involved. And there's a vote. We voted, but they were all scared. When they voted, I was there. I didn't vote. I wasn't a captain yet. Angelo Ruggiero was there. I had a gun. Angelo had a gun. And we were standing behind the captains who were going to vote. They're not stupid. So they voted John in. First guy to vote was Frankie DeCicco. He was part of the plot. Frankie DeCicco said, I vote John Gotti to be the boss. Me and Angelo were standing behind them. They went right around the table. Boop. Nobody wanted to put their name in the hat, throw their name in. So he won, out of fear. We just killed the boss. We're in a war. We won. They went along with what we did. That's a different thing. But if it's just like when Carl died, he gave his blessings to Paul, to all the captains, told them, and they all went along with it. And he had the decency to wait for Neil to get out of prison. He was waiting a couple months more, and he waited for him. And he gave him an option.
Next super chat question comes from Pizza Dave. Hey, Sammy, were the auto body shops around your office on Stillwell Ave, were they mobbed up, and did you have a piece of any of them?
They were mobbed up to the gills. There was more cars stolen and put into those auto body shops than you got hair on your head. But I didn't have a piece of one of those. Louis Melito was in the car business a lot. He had a piece of an auto body shop, but it wasn't in Stillwell. It was in Staten Island, the place. But I wasn't a car guy. I was never really a car guy.
Next super chat question comes from Anubis. Sammy, why did Jerry Papa kill Ralph and Shorty Spiro? Was it revenge for the killing of Jimmy Emma?
Yes. Yes. That's exactly what it was about. He killed Ralph Spiro right in front of his house. Ralph Spiro was able to run a little bit, and he dove under a parked car thinking he'd be safe. The guy who was on the hit put the shotgun low and kept shooting, and he died under the car. Shorty Spiro went nuts. His brother was killed, and he was bent on trying to find out who did it. There was a guy there who was with Papa, and he was a brother-in-law to Shorty Spiro. I'm trying to think of his name as I talk. He got in touch with Shorty and said, Jerry Papa, I think, knows who killed your brother. Jerry Papa had a club on Bay Parkway. Shorty went there by himself to meet Papa. Papa and his guys killed him. They dug a hole in the basement of the office, put him in there, and covered it up. We concreted the whole thing. That's where he was. The guy, Joey, I can't think of his name, came to my house. I was there with my wife in Staten Island. I think my wife knows the story a little bit. Because he came to my house and he said, Sammy, I need your help. I know him a lot of years. I said, for what? What happened? I was made already. He said, I'm Shorty's brother-in-law. And I told him that Papa knew. I set him up. And his nephew or somebody, a guy, Angelo, his name was, were hot. They knew that, or thought he set him up. And they were asking questions. He was afraid he was going to get killed. And that's what he told me. I said, Joey, I'm going to go in the bedroom. My wife heard this because she was in there when I got up. I'm going to go in the bedroom. In my drawer, I have a gun. You know how close I was to Shorty? Sammy, my fucking ass. I'm going to go in there. In my drawer, I got a gun. When I come back out, if you're here in my house, I'm going to kill you in my fucking house. On the way to my bedroom, my wife grabbed my arm. I pushed her the fuck off. I was going to kill him right in my fucking house. I loved Shorty. He really was a good guy to me, always. He took off. When I came out, he wasn't there. My wife started to talk. I said, Deb, please, don't even talk. I'm steaming inside. Don't talk. What are you going to ask me? Was I going to kill him? Yes, is the answer. So don't talk to me, please. It didn't happen. So yes, Papa and his guys killed Ralph Spiro and then Shorty Spiro. Later on, it all came out. Jerry Papa was killed. by his own people, the Genovese people. That's another whole story, but you'll see it in my movie.
Okay, moving on to another super chat. I have a super chat from Surviving the Strange. They said, I sent a DM on Instagram. Somehow my dad knew Sammy before I was born. He never told me how. He passed recently. I just want to thank Sammy for giving us something we bonded over with his videos. Sorry for your loss.
Yeah, sorry for your loss, and thank you so much for your comment.
Dylan McNamara, would you ever do a podcast with the Gemini twins, and where are they since they got released?
I have no idea where they are. I think they really did change their life. That's what they said in prison, that they changed their life around. They were quiet. I don't know where they went, changed their name, or whatever they did. Would I do a podcast with them? Yes. Listen, they were under orders of Roy DeMeo. They did a lot of ugly shit, but they were under orders. And I changed my life. They changed their life. I would definitely do an interview with them if they wanted. But if they want to be quiet, and I don't blame them, God bless. I hope that they make it in whatever business or whatever they do. They're true tough guys. You can't take it away. These guys are two tough guys. But I give them all the respect in the world. I don't try to reach out for them or say anything to them. But if they hear this here and they want to talk to me, but I've sent messages a couple of times. Right now I'm on parole. I don't even know if I'm allowed to do it. But if I was allowed to do it, yes, I would do it.
Another super chat from well-known local. Sammy, you said you advised John not to kill Favara, but in our thing, you said you really didn't communicate with John on a personal level until 1985.
I did communicate with John. What I said is that we didn't come tight. It was a little bit before 85 that we became tight. I said I never grew up with him. He wasn't my friend. But when I got made before him, I got made in 1976. He got made in 1977. He helped a friend of mine in prison. And I saw him one night first time I met him. He came into Frankie the Chico's club. I was there standing at the bar. Every time Frankie opened the club, I was always there to push it, make it, work for him. And I was with Frankie the Chico's father, Boozy, who was a May guy. I was a May guy. And John walked in with his little entourage of 4 or 5 guys. And Boozy told me, he says, you know this kid, John? I said, I heard of him. And I didn't know him. I said, but he helped my friend in prison. My friend had trouble with black guys. He robbed them. He did something. And they were going to hurt him. John stepped to the plate, straightened it out, because he heard that he was my friend. And he didn't even know me. He did me that favor. So when he came in, I bought him a drink. How you doing, John? I hear a lot of good things about you, bro. And I appreciate your help, my friend, in prison. And he said, Sammy, it's my pleasure. As soon as I found out, they were going to hurt him. But as soon as I found out, I paid the tab that he owed. He robbed them. And I made sure that he didn't get touched. I said, I appreciate it. He went in the back to play craps and talk with Frankie the Chico. That's when I met him. And I got closer and closer with him. When my father died, he came to the funeral with 4, 5, 6 guys. And I to give us his condolences and stuff like that, I became a little closer to him. When my mother died, the same thing. He came down. And I started having a relationship and a friendship with him. When before Paul died, and he had his problems, we all knew about it. He needed help. And he came to me for help with my crew. He came to Frankie DeChico with his crew. Without those crews, it couldn't be done. And so I got closer and closer. After the Castellano hit, of course, we were super close. Now, when his son was hit by a car accident and he was killed, I went and see him, of course, right away. And he had told me there was rumor that he was going to kill the neighbor, the guy who was in a car accident. And I went to him and I told him, John, I think you're making a mistake if you do this, bro. It was a car accident. The guy didn't mean it. He said, Sammy, my wife is driving me fucking crazy. She's telling me you're a tough guy. He killed our son. He went to the house to apologize. The wife was hitting him with a bat. He said, my wife is driving me crazy. I said, whatever it is, but I think if you do this, people are going to hate you. He's a legitimate guy. It was a car accident. And they're going to put two and two together. They may not indict you because they don't have evidence, but they're going to hate you. Don't do it. He went to Florida with his wife, and he had his guys do it. I had no control over it at all. I gave him my advice. He did what he did, and that's it. And then in the movie, they try to blame me for it. I had nothing to do with it.
Okay, I'm going to ask two more questions, and then we have to wrap it up. Provost 77. Hi, Sammy. Do most captains designate their most trusted soldier to be a buffer between him and the rest of his crew? Also, which captains ran the most efficient crews?
A lot of captains ran a good crew, even guys who weren't tough guys. You know, it's how the relationship between you and your guys. So I think they all ran a pretty tight ship, a good ship. And did I put some guys above other guys in my crew? Yeah, yes, of course. There's always that one guy. Stymie was one of them. Joe Peruta was one of them. But that doesn't mean I didn't love Johnny Holmes or Michael DeBat or Nicky Cowboy or on and on and on. I loved them all. They were my crew. To me, I told the mob, my crew is untouchable. They're my dogs. Don't fuck with my dog. If you do something to my dog, I will come at you. I had an argument with Greg Scarpa Jr. one time. And he told me, he said, Sammy, you know, we have these situations. Your guy comes, I'll hurt him. My guy comes to you, you'll hurt him. We got to come together in this argument. I said, bro, you got it all fucked up. If you kill one of my guys, I'm not going to come back and kill one of your guys. I'm going to kill you. That's the way I dealt with it. That's the way I felt. You're not going to touch any of my guys. If one of my guys have to go for a reason, I'll do it. Nobody's going to punish my kid but me. So I put some guys ahead. They were closer to me. Like I said, Stymie was super, super close to me. The old man Peruta was super, super close to me. And I'm still close with their families.
Okay, I'm going to ask two more questions. Before I do that, Eugene, In the super chat, you asked about Johnny Keys. Elaborate that question, please, so that I can ask Sammy so you can get your answer. Now, moving on to the next super chat, I have Brian Mack. Any thoughts on the 1996 Gotti, where William Forsythe played you and Armando Santi as Gotti?
I thought it wasn't a bad movie. He didn't, I don't think he played me well. He didn't look like me. I think he was a foot taller than me. So I mean, I don't know, but it wasn't bad.
Nick Turturro actually looked like you, though, in Witness to the Mob.
Yeah, well, that was a movie way before, and I did an interview with Nick Turturro just recently, and he looks a little bit more like me. I wish he would have had more information about me. I think he could have played a better part, but I met with him. He's a great actor. I talked to him. We're friends, and if I do something, I may use him because he is a good actor. I like him.
And the last one would be from Nurk. Sammy, you probably get asked this question a lot. What music were you guys listening to back then? I know you had the long hair. You blamed the Beatles.
The Beatles were famous. I did have, everybody wound up their hair. They grew their hair longer during the Beatle days. And you'll see when I got arrested with my Kumbada Ali boy, I come out, my fucking hair was below my ears. What was the black music there?
Jazz?
No, I always liked jazz or rhythm and blues. No, it was just Soul Train.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I liked their music. And all of them, Sinatra, D. Martin, I liked all of that stuff. All of the stuff that came out in the 60s, 70s, and stuff like that. I liked all that stuff. I like music. I do like music. When I sit down alone, I play on YouTube. They have these music channel, and I listen to rhythm and blues. I have a cup of coffee, a cigar, chill. I think back. And I think Amina wants to close it down because she's giving me dirty.
Wait. Before we close it down. So just answer Eugene's question real quick. Thank you, Janet. I think you might have cleared it up. Eugene wants to know if Johnny Keys could have done something differently that would have prevented him from being killed. Could Johnny Keys have done something differently that prevented him from being killed?
No.
Okay, and was Johnny... Well, here's another one. Could Johnny Keys have been more smart to detect that you were not straight and that he was there to kill? So you were there to kill Johnny. Is there a way that he could have done something differently to detect that?
I could have been an actor, what I did. Remember, when I sent Nicky Russo and Pal Joey, I said, you tell him that Paul wants to send you a message. He's going to send this guy. He's a young guy. He just got made. Sammy, he didn't say Bull, it's just Sammy. He's a punk, a jerk-off, and a bitch. But he brings back messages that are precise. I planted that in his head. When I came in, I was banged around, pushed around, elbowed. They wanted to see me flare up. But I acted like a bitch. Oh, come on, bro, what are you doing? I'm here with a message. I dogged it. I made it look like I was scared. To fit that bill. When I talked to him, it was good conversations going backwards and forwards. At one point, when I saw him thinking, and I said, John, I'm so nervous, I'm so scared, I can't, my mouth is dry. Could I get something to drink? I took his mind off of it because they had told me he's a smart guy, a cunning guy, and he's a thinker. If he thinks for 1 minute that you're fake, you're going in the basement, they're going to torture you to find out the truth, and then they're going to kill you. So when he started thinking I made that bullshit reason up, he says, get him a glass of water. And he told me, I'll never forget it, you're in over your head, kid. I says, I know, but I got to bring these messages back and forth. And he says, I know. You're everything they told me. Now, I know I'm the one who told them what to say. So he believed it. And I never showed any kind of temper or anything. Matter of fact, meaning when I was walking out, there was a big guy, and he was right in my way. And I told him, excuse me. And he gave me an elbow right in my side. Knocked the fucking wind out of me. It really hurt. I buckled up. I said, come on, bro. What are you doing? I wanted to eat his face. I smiled at him, and he smiled back. My smile was because Johnny Keys were going to come to the meeting where I was going to kill him. I smiled at him because I was saying in my head, I hope you come to this fucking meeting too. Because I would have killed him. But I played it to the T. When we got in the car, one of the things he said too, he said, Sammy, a punk, a bitch, a jerk off. The whole fucking 5 families in New York and half of Philadelphia couldn't have me sitting in this fucking truck like you. You're a master hit guy. You calm me. And he asked me, when you wanted that fucking water, you took my mind away from what I was thinking, didn't you? I said, yes, I did. It's going to be a movie. There's people working on it. It's going to be, the Johnny Keys hit itself is going to be a movie. I'm working on it. It's in progress. I'll put it that way.
Okay, I just want to say a couple more things, and then you can take us out. Redman, I will get to your question next week. Francisco, Demi, Ryan. Oh, hey, Demi. Sweetheart, welcome back. I will answer all of your guys' questions on the next live. Boss man, take us out.
Check us out. I'm going to talk for another 15 minutes.
You better say goodbye.
All right, guys. Listen, adios, motherfuckers.